Mohammed, I have a problem with procrastination, I have to admit.
Me too.
Whenever I start writing,
Yeah.
I find I suddenly have a block, and I remember, okay, I have to, do the laundry, or I have to make a phone call or something like that. So I was surprised to discover that you, the productive Muslim,
Yep.
have issues with
I
procrastination as well.
I'm a productive procrastinator. Yeah, I mean, procrastination is interesting. It's a fascinating thing, and you can think of different perspectives. The first one is when I procrastinate a task, I ask why. So why am I procrastinating this task? What is it? And I look from an Islamic psychology perspective, right? Why is my nafs rebelling against this task? What is about this task that's gonna make me uncomfortable?
Mm-hmm.
For example, do my taxes. And I was like, I gotta do my taxes. I hate doing taxes. Why, right? Is it because, what is that fear? Is that just not wanting, maybe you feel like you're not qualified, you feel like you're just, you feel like it kind of brings back failures. Like, what is exactly about this thing that's driving it? So understanding your why.
Maybe it's hard, maybe it's boring.
Hard, it's boring.
There are all sorts of reasons.
Absolutely. So that's one thing. The second thing to keep in mind is we have a bias. Our brain is a bias called completion bias. When something is hard, when something is important, when something is long-term, our brain doesn't like that because it means it stays open. It's like an open loop that does not close. Our brain likes to close loops, and that's why when we procrastinate, we love to do things that make us feel productive, like for example,
shorter tasks.
Shorter tasks, checking off emails, going and doing the dishes. Like when my wife sees me, like hoovering the house and washing dishes, like what are you procrastinating on? What are you procrastinating? I know you're procrastinating something. Go back and do what you're writing, right? That's exactly how it is, because I really it's a feel a sense of accomplishment. So and the third thing that sometimes drives procrastination is also fear, right? Sometimes fear of failure and fear of success. Like, what if this thing that you're writing or working on blows up? What if this thing flops completely? And because we put our heart and soul into some things, and it's almost like there's almost like a challenge to our image of ourselves. So there's a lot that goes in procrastination. That's why I don't take it lightly, and I see it as a signal that I need to address. Now, strategies, yes, there are strategies to handle procrastination. For example, the completion bias. The way you think about completion bias is, can you turn this long task into completion sessions? So for example, with writing, I'd say I would write 45 minutes, right? Or I'll write 1,000 words, in a writing session. And yes, the book has to be 50,000 words, but as long as I do my 1,000 words, I feel a sense of completion. I feel great without feeling, oh my God, I haven't finished a chapter, or I haven't finished this whole section. No, I'm doing 1,000 words, or I'm just doing 45 minutes. Once 45 minutes is over, I'm done. That sense of so you can almost like trick your brain to feel a sense of completion while getting on that front. Second thing you could do is delegating. I mean, again, I give my accountant to do my taxes, right? So if you don't like do something, you don't have to yourself, delegate, and don't feel bad about delegating. Sometimes you have to be smart about, like, do I really, really need to do my taxes on my own? If I can afford to, I can have an accountant, does the taxes, get off that instead of trying to force yourself and beating yourself up and feeling, and the whole guilt that comes with it as well. The third thing is to think about is recognize that, there's, if you look at your, getting that zone, right? For how you first you get in that zone of writing, right?
Yes, it takes some time,
the
right?
Setup, right? So first is a physical setup, right? Is a space encourage me to write, for example? Is it cluttered? Do I have my right tools? All that stuff. For example, even for me, sometimes I actually face the qibla when I write, just to orient myself. It's not about you. It's about you. So your child doing something, Deen. And kind of just giving arranging physical space and arranging physical direction is a way to kind of overcome those fears and kind of getting out of your own way, so to speak. Then there's mentally, right? So you have a lot of things in your mind. You have, you have to-dos, you have tasks, you have all these little things that pop out. Oh, you got to do this. All right, I have a little piece of paper next to me, and I write down all those things down. What are those things you got to do? Okay, I need to send an email. I need to write a voice note. I need to, respond back to X, Y, and Z. All right, put it down. So that way you clear your mental space, even as you're working, and not feel like the urge to get up and do something and get it done. And the third thing, so that's the sort of mental space. The third thing is emotionally, right? Emotionally, let's say you fear the writing or you fear the talent. What is it? And kind of like almost having a self-therapy session with yourself, right? Like, okay, why am I struggling? Why am I fearing this? And sometimes just asking yourself, scholars of the past, when you see the writing, they'll talk to the nafs. Yeah, nafsi. Yeah, nafsi. They'll talk to themselves. Like, why are you procrastinating your salah? Why not get a tahajjud? Why are you feeling so lazy? Like, it'll have those conversations. And I feel sometimes you just need to have the conversation yourself. Like, what is going on here? Why am I fearing this? What's going on? And some of those conversations can help you with each aha moment. Oh, wait, you know what? I realized I stayed away from my intentions. I stayed away from what I really wanted to do this for. I realized it's become about myself, my ego. I realized that it's because I feel I'm doing this for reputation, fame, and I have fear or guilt or insecurity. So you just having this conversation kind of puts a spotlight on the issue, and hopefully that becomes easier to handle, manage. And then finally, I call the spiritual component. So you have a physical setup, you have a mental setup, you have a emotional setup, and a spiritual setup. The spiritual setup is where you kind of make wudu, you pray 2 rak'ahs, for example, you make dua, you ask something. I beg. We have reached a point where you progress so long, you realize I have to do this. You just beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you, because you realize you can't do this. You can't without His help.
Yes.
And that hopefully overcomes that sort of barrier, and then you enter your flow state. And inshallah, once you're there, you're in good hands, basically.
Thank you for sharing those excellent thoughts. I hope I can apply it in my life next time I start writing.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Our videos reach people all over the world. We hope you will seize the opportunity to share in the reward from God. Please support us today.